Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. So, we have two new party members. We have Regongar and Octavia. Let's just see how far off I was with that. Let's have a look here. Regongar. Yes, that is his name. He's an Eldritch Scion. I have no idea what that means in, what practical means it has. He has a lot of strength and a lot of charisma. So he's probably a melee fighter who is probably all about just heavy damage, which sounds cool. So, let's level him up and find out a little bit more. So, Eldritch Scion is a magus subclass. Oh, okay. So, if I was to check Valerie, she's a tower shield specialist, but she's a fighter. Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was one of these ones at the bottom here. I thought it was Eldritch Knight. Ah, okay. But it's not. So he was a magus like I originally thought he was last episode. What's he got? So he's Draconic Bloodline Blue. Okay. So blue dragons are schemers, obsessively orderly. In combat, blue dragons prefer to surprise foes if possible, and are not above retreating if the odds turn against them. The bonus feats of blind fighting, great fortitude, improved initiative, power attack, quicken spells, skill focus mobility, skill focus, knowledge, arcana, and toughness. Okay. They get 0 level cantrips. Great. You get proficiencies. So proficient with all simple and martial weapons. A magus is also proficient with light armor and cast spells while wearing light armor without incurring the normal arcane spell failure chance. Very interesting. Like any other spellcaster, if you're wearing medium or heavy armor, you get the same chance that you would usually get. A multi-class still incurs the normal spell arcane failure for spells received from other classes. Okay. And then detect magic. And he gets combat casting. Okay, you're adept at spell casting when threatened or distracted. Okay. What else has he got? He's got so many abilities. Spell combat. At first level, a magus learns to cast spells and wield his weapons at the same time. This functions much like two-weapon fighting, but the offhand weapon is a spell that is being cast. So if you have a free hand and you're wielding a light or one-handed melee weapon, you can make all of your attacks with melee weapons a -2 penalty and also cast spells from the mage's spell book. Okay. Any attack roll made as part of this spell also takes the penalty. That's interesting. Yeah. So basically, you have in one hand you have the sword hitting them, in the other hand you have the spell casting. That's an interesting combo. Okay. Eldritch Pool. At first level, the magus gains a reservoir of mystical arcane energy that he can draw upon to fuel his powers and enhance his weapons. This arcane pool has a number of points equal to half of his magus level, minimum 1, so it's going to be 4 at the end of this. Plus his charisma modifier, which I think was +2. So it's going to be 6. Sorry, it's going to be 4 overall. That's fine. The pool refreshes once a day, so you get 4 things a day that you can use. You can spend 1 as swift action. You have the weapon you're holding a +1 enhancement bonus for 1 minute. For every 4 levels above the first, therefore level 5 or above, the weapon gains another +1 enhancement. Okay. These bonuses can be added to the weapon, stacking with existing weapon enhancements to a maximum of +5. Okay. Multiple uses do not stack on top of each other. Okay. At 5th level, these bonuses can be used to add any of the following weapon properties. Flaming burst. Okay, so it's basically you can buff up your weapon. Interesting. Oh, there's more to it as well if we go further down. Mages can only enhance one weapon this way. Yeah, okay, fine. Whatever. Fine. Wait, what does that say about... adding these properties consumes amount bonus... Adding these properties consumes an amount of bonus equal to the property's base price modifier. Properties are added to any weapon already has. Duplicates do not stack. Weapon is not magical. At least +1 enchantment bonus must be added for any other properties can be added. Okay, that's fine. You can grow claws as a free action. These are treated as natural weapons, allowing you to make 2 claw attacks as a full attack using your base attack bonus. This sounds not so useful, because we'd want him to be buffing up his weapon, but I guess it gives him something to do if he doesn't have a weapon to buff up. There's 1d4 points of damage plus your strength modifier, so it's 1d4 plus 4 with 2 attacks, I think. Yeah, so it's 1d4 plus 4 times by 2. So it's like 2d4 plus 8. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty consistent. At 5th level, they're magical weapons for overcoming DR. 7th level, it goes up. Okay. With the blue one, if you cast a spell for electricity damage, the spell gains +1 points of damage per die rolled. Okay, so try and go for electricity. And then they get a class skill of perception. Okay, and then they also, at spell level 2, this is why I didn't choose Magus originally. There's way too many abilities that we need to keep track of, but it's cool. At 2nd level, whenever a Magus casts a spell with a range of touch from the Magus spell list, he can deliver the spell through any weapon he's wielding as part of a melee attack. Okay. So instead of the free melee touch attack normally allowed to deliver the spell, Magus can make 1 free melee attack with his weapon, the highest base attack bonus as part of casting the spell. Successful, the melee attack deals its normal damage as well as the effects of the spell. The Magus makes this attack in concert with spell combat. This melee attack takes all the penalties accrued by spell combat melee attacks. Okay, this attack uses the weapon's critical range and modified by keen weapon properties or other similar effects, so the spell only deals 2 times on a successful critical hit, while weapon damage uses its own critical modifier. Okay, so you can have a weapon, apply a spell to it as a free bonus act, as a bonus action or something like that, or somehow you can do it. Yeah, but you can also then cast another spell at the same time. Okay, well, we're gonna have to see how this works in practice, but it's getting a little bit stacked on top of each other here. We got a feat. This is the one where if you were to play this on the tabletop game, your DM would come up to you and go, okay, so what exactly are you doing? And they'd say, I'm doing X, Y, Z, and the DM would just nod their head and go, alright, well, carry on. Just like, I'm not going to question it. There's far too much that you say you're doing here. Either that, or they'd be awful and they'd just say, actually, no, you don't get to do any of that. You just get to do 1 spell. Something. Anyway. Magus Arcana. See, as he gains levels, the Magus gains arcane secrets tailored to a specific way of bending martial puissance. I have never seen that word before, but okay. And magical skill. Starting at 3rd level, he gains 1 Magus Arcana. He gains additional Magus Arcana for every 3 levels. I don't know what a Magus Arcana is, but I'm sure I'll find out. Dragon Resistances. At 3rd level, you gain 5 resist against electricity and 1 natural armor bonus. That I can understand. That's good. A mage armor. At 3rd level and every 2 levels thereafter, the sorcerer learns an additional spell derived from her bloodline. At this level, we learn mage armor. Great. Right, next. We don't get any ability score right now. But I would think our next point is obviously going into strength if we can. Athletics, persuasion, use magic device. Yeah, seems good to me. Here we get one of these. We don't need a proficiency with medium armor. We should always stick with our current armor. With light armor. We could get an extra AC with armor focus. What's the arcane strike? Spending a swift action each round, you can imbue your weapons with fractionally power for 1 round. Your weapons deal +1. So we have to use a swift action each turn to use it, which I think we're already kind of using. We get 1 dexterity. Just seeing if anything else is popping up as like something we need. Your spells break through spell resistance more easily. Could be something that we could do. Toughness, you gain 3 hit points for every hit die you possess beyond 3, which will be 4. So it'll be 1 extra. You get additional 1 hit. You get 4 health at the end of this. Yeah. So we get 4 health from that. Weapon focus, I'm not too worried about either. Arcane armor training, we don't need. I'm surprised it doesn't have that as a you don't need. I think I want dodge. I think dodge is generally pretty good. I'm just gonna scrolling through these again. Arcane pool. You can use you gain his feet and it gives you an additional increase to your pool. Okay. Dodge. Then we get our Magnus Arcana. So we can spend 1 point from our arcane pool's swift action to grant himself an insight bonus equal to his charisma bonus on all attack rolls until the end of his turn. Wand mastery. Or wand wielder. Well, we don't use a wand, so I guess we'll choose this one. Right. Spells. What spells do we start with? So acid touch, light. Okay, the same cantrips that everyone else gets. Pretty much. We have shocking grasp, which we've already seen. True strike. Shield, mage armor, and then one of these. Enlarged person sounds interesting. Because it gives you an extra +2 bonus to strength. What's stone fist? Transforms your hands into living stone. Your unarmed strikes do not provoke attacks of opportunity and deal 1d6 bludgeoning. Not necessary. Reduce person. Make a target small. Interesting. Color spray. It's based on hit die. It does scale though. It's a target is stunned for 1 round if we use it. I think I'm gonna take enlarge person. Yeah, and just make him bigger. Okay. We're not done yet. So Eldritch Knight, what do we need? Ability to cast arcane 3rd level. Oh, you don't get 3rd level spells at 3rd level, you get 3rd level spells later. Okay, that's fine. I was just thinking, do we not already have that? No. Does sound kind of what we're looking for. Though, after we go for mages. We'll take a 4th level of mages. We get an additional 2nd level spell. We get a bonus mage's feat. Wait, do we? No, we don't. We get that next level. And we don't get arcane weapon +2 either at this level. That's all next level stuff. That's fine. We'll take it anyway. We get an ability point, which is obviously going into strength. It's just sitting there asking us to put an extra point into it. We get those 2. Next, we get an extra 2 spells. Nice. Okay. What's Stone Call? All creatures within a 40-foot burst centered on a target creature take 2d6 points of damage. It makes the whole area difficult terrain. Bull Strength. Subject becomes stronger. So we give us enchant. We could just basically sit in the back, buffing ourselves, and then just move forward. Armor no longer reduces your speed. Not a problem. Mirror Image sounds useful. There's a possibility something attacks one of our targets instead of us. Rigid Touch. No saving throw. A melee touch attack deals 4d6 points of cold damage and causes the target to be staggered for 1 round. With no saving throw. That seems good. Yeah. I think Bull Strength and Frigid Touch sound good here. Yeah. Let's go with that. It sounded like a very interesting character we got there. Also with lower health than us and a melee character. We'll see how that goes. Anyway. Octavia. Or bow-wielding rogue. Very interesting. So she's actually rogue and wizard. She's just base level. So wizard-wise, she's transmutation. She's bound to an object. Opposition schools are necromancy and necromancy. She really doesn't like necromancy. Okay. She's got cantrips. She's got proficiencies. Skill focus trickery. Okay, and point blank shot. That's fine. Okay, rogue. I think we're gonna look at making her more of a rogue than a wizard because we don't have a rogue, and actually having a really interesting kind of bow-wielding rogue could be cool. It also gives us a reason to take her over other people. Rogue proficiencies, trap finding, weapon finesse. She's got sneak attack. So If a character can catch an opponent when he's unable to defend himself effectively from her attack, she can strike a vital spot for extra damage. The character's attack deals extra damage anytime the target would be denied a bonus to AC, whether the target actually has the dexterity bonus or not, or when the character flanks a target. Okay. It's damage 1d6 and increased by 1d6 at later levels. Okay. Interesting. That seems fine. So what do we get at this level? We get evasion. A character can avoid even magical and unusual attacks with great agility if the target makes a successful reflex saving throw against an attack that normally deals half damage on successful save, instead takes 0. That seems good. And then a rogue talent. Okay. Yeah, seems good to me. See what we get. Also, our obvious one for upgrading is this one. Get an extra thing on our ranged attack. Knowledge Arcana seems good. Oh wow, we get so many skill points. Might as well put points in stealth. Yeah, do you want knowledge world, perception, or let's go for knowledge world and then perception? Something like that. That seems like the best lineup. I'm not really worried about persuasion. That's kind of our thing. Yeah. Abilities. So, feat first. Accomplish sneak attack. Your sneak attack damage increases by 1d6. I mean, that's pretty good. Precise shot. You can shoot or throw ranged weapons at opponent engaged in melee without taking the -4 in your attack roll. Yes, because that's exactly when we want to use it. Okay. Rogue talent. I didn't even know you took a -4. So that's useful to know. Canny Observer. When a rogue with this talent makes perception checks against +4, we just decided, well, we gave her perception, didn't we? We did, yeah. I'm still not that interested in it. Fast stealth. Move at full speed while in stealth. Okay, focused attack. Confusing. When a rogue is confused and hits a creature in a melee attack that deals sneak damage, the rogue is no longer confused. Oh, it's a focusing attack. So when they... Okay, I'm not going to have her in melee. I'm going to use her as a bow and arrow person. So all of those are useless because they're all melee. Iron Guts. Rogue with this talent has a cast iron stomach or has trained herself to withstand poisons, especially ingested ones. She gains a +1 bonus on all saves against poisons, +4 bonus against all spells and effects that cause the rogue to be nauseated or sickened. Interesting. Skill focus. You're very good at a skill. Okay. Slow reactions. Opponents damaged by a rogue sneak attack can't make attack of opportunity for 1 round. Interesting. Why would we not take weapon focus? Because we already have it? That's about the only reason I can think of. Have a look. I didn't want to do that. I just want to do this. There we go. We already have weapon focus. No. So why would we not take weapon focus? I'm not 100% sure why it's not recommending that. I'm assuming usually there must be a reason for it not to recommend something. Did I upgrade one that I didn't take previously? Oh, there we go. That's better. So I want precise shot, and I think I want weapon focus for a bow? What type of bow is it? Short bow? Long bow? We don't have a long bow, so it must be a short bow. Yeah, it must be a short bow. And this gives us +1, right? Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what the catch is, but we'll take it and assume that I'm just wrong. That's fine. Complete. Now double check that she has a short bow. She has a short bow. Yeah, okay. I think that's the one that we have back at our base as well. Finesse training. At first level, the rogue gains weapon finesse as a bonus feat. In addition, starting at 3rd level, she can select one type of weapon which can be used with weapon finesse, such as rapiers or daggers. Once the choice is made, it cannot be changed. Whenever she makes a successful melee attack with the selected weapon, she adds her dexterity modifier instead of her strength modifier. Okay. Danger sense, so +1 bonus on reflex saves to avoid traps, and +1 dodge bonus on AC to against attacks made by traps. And she hits the next level of sneak attack, which is an extra 1d6. I think. Why is it showing precise? Oh, wait. This is right. Why is it showing precise shot there and not there? Did we already... Did we just get precise shot? Or... I'm trying to figure out why it's showing it on that one instead of on the net. I'm trying to figure out why it's showing it on that line. That's kind of weird. Oh, I see. It's saying our feet. I'm reading this as part of the rogue line, and now I understand it. It's saying this is the feat that we chose at level 3. Okay. This isn't related to what's below it whatsoever. Okay. Right. That's fine. Dexterity, 100%. Take 1 in all of those, plus 1 in that. 2 in that, I guess. That seems good. I didn't miss one? Nope. Okay. And then she gets an ability. So finesse training bite. No. Finesse training claw? No. What do I want to be able to use? Unarmed? Kind of think a dagger or something sounds interesting. An elven curve. Yeah, dagger. I mean, we haven't seen a dagger yet, but that seems like the kind of thing which makes sense just in general. I'm going to choose dagger. And we need to find her a dagger at some point. But yeah, that sounds cool. There we go. She is leveled up. Right. That's her all set. You know how I said that he had the lowest health? Well, he's just been beaten by the rogue. Yeah, I want to head back to Oleg's. Let's just travel. We're probably going to have to rest along the way, but that's okay. We do move quite slowly. That's alright. I'm expecting a fight any moment now. Like here. Oh, we move really quickly here.
Need to catch my breath.
Oh, is that because when you move through the forest, you move slower or something? Oh. Kind of neat. So if we find better paths, we can go quicker. Interesting. Anyway. You can use ranged sneak attacks on flanked enemies. Okay. Sure.
I need to catch my breath.
With a delighted smile, Octavia inhales the smell coming from Oleg's trading post. Fresh bread! I can't believe it. All this time we sat in cages and crawled in the mud. There were places in the world where they were baking fresh bread. And here we are. I bet they have clean sheets. Maybe we can even take a bath. Ha ha ha, girl can dream. Yeah, get some rest. You deserve it. You can be sure of that. I've got years of rest to catch up on. I'll be stuffing my face until I turn into a ball. You do so much for us. Is that because you are kind, or maybe... The half-elf smiles flirtatiously. Maybe it's because you've been charmed by my beauty. Interesting. Well, you know, I have a rule with this kind of thing. And it's come from BioWare games for a long time. Which is basically, if you're going to have companions flirting, the easiest way to deal with it is just to flirt with everyone, as long as there's an option. So, exactly, I would never have found a Technic League's encampment if your beauty hadn't beaconed me. Octavia laughs out loud. For a moment, something more than just friendliness flashes across her eyes. Oh, you are sweet. Alright, enough talk. Fresh bread and clean sheets await. You know, I didn't expect that, actually. But okay. Weird. Heading here.
I'll go ahead.
I mean, by I didn't expect it, I mean, I didn't expect it in the game at all. But I guess that's because I've been I'm used to more of, I guess, Pillars 1 thing. Where that wasn't in. I just remembered Pillars 2 actually went full on flirty, so. You know. Where they all... I guess they went inside? Yeah. Makes sense, I guess. Ooh. We'll go this way first. I was going to say we could sell stuff now, but we don't need to. Let's head upstairs. Grab our... Ooh, there they are. Cool.
The path is clear.
I want to speak to them as well. Let's grab all of that, actually. And let's just equip them up. So if I go along here... Octavia... No, it's not Octavia, that's... Yeah, we want Octavia. I want to give her the short bow. which is +1. Yes, it's more damage. Did I say that was lowering the damage we were having, or? No, that definitely raised it. I was crazy thinking that lowered it. Right, and she can't use the S-Stock. He also cannot use the S-Stock, but can definitely use the chain shirt, which is light armor. Right, we'll ditch the S-Stock back in here. Wait, did we pick up another chain shirt with +1 as well? Wow. Well, she probably doesn't want a chain shirt. She's probably okay, actually. Her dexterity is a little low because she's fatigued. Her AC is really low as well. She's like target for just getting killed. Amulet of Mighty Fist. That seems like that's an item for him to use because he has claws. The Intelligence Headband. Well, our spells don't work off intelligence, but hers do, so she should have the Intelligence Headband. Yeah, +5 was pretty nice. The Wand of his Speediest Retreat. Increase your base movement speed by 30. That seems like a him kind of thing. And the one that we have, the True Strike one. Wait, that Harem has. Who has it? Dithal has. Yeah, that's definitely a him item. Like the one that gives him a large amount of damage on his next attack. He's got a scimitar. It's not the best weapon in the world. I do want to equip them first. We'll come back up and talk to them in a bit. I do like having the extra companions, though. It's completely expanded what we can do. Right. Oh, this is the one I want to speak to. Oleg. Right. So if I sort this all by price in descending order, we already have the bag of holding. The chain shirt we can sell because we have. Well, we'll keep it. I should put that back actually. Anything else that we want to sell? Pearl, the chain shirt with no bonus. Yeah, we'll sell the flowers. Definitely golden trinket. Sell that. That one. Keep the tenderloin. Sell more of these things. Sell more of these things. Definitely sell the crossbow and bow. Is that everything? Oh, no. The rapier. Yep. The shell. Rice will keep. Lab journal will keep as well. Yeah, I kind of want to keep any kind of story-related items because they might be useful. That's alright. If they start to weigh too much, I'll just put them in a box. I think the rest of it's fine. Yeah, rest of that's fine. And then in return, is there anything I want? I might want a better weapon for him. Nah, he mostly sells masterwork ones, and the rest are too expensive to be worth it. Armor. Well, is there any like really okay light armor that doesn't give? Get something that doesn't give arcane. It only gives 5 arcane spell failure or something like that. Allows for a large dexterity bonus. That gives her +1 AC, which doesn't sound like a lot, but might actually be huge. Although leather armor as well is absolutely fine for that. Leather armor is just. I think it's worth giving her some armor. I don't think that she should be walking around with 21 health and no armor. That just seems foolish. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll trade. That's fine. And we'll give her some armor. Yeah, that's fine. She's well within her dex bonus anyway. But this is likely to keep her alive and want her to be more of a rogue than a wizard anyway. Right. Head back on in.
Let us be careful.
Back on up. And let's drop the stuff off in our box. I think it's just the chain one that we've got right now. Yeah, the chain shirt. Anything we need to do with our bag of holding, or do we just have it in our bag? We just have it in our bag. That's fine. Right. Quick save. Let's speak to...
My strength betrays me.
Regongar. What do you want? Have a little chat. Alright, it's not like we have anything better to do. Tell me about yourself. What is there to know? I was born, I'm alive. I haven't died yet. Is that enough for you? You remember your childhood? Regongar scowls. What a crap question. I was just a kid when they sold me. Before that, I don't remember much. Smoky fire, stinky hides. I was bumping along on a horse. I was born in one of those Kellad tribes of Numeria. There are many. Some survive on their own. Some give up their pride and serve the Technic League. I guess mine was one of the cowards if they sold their own kids. I remember my father's hands. Rough, scarred, white. So I guess I got this green skin from my mother. I don't remember her. I think I remember playing with another half-orc child. A brother, maybe. For some reason, they didn't sell him, just me. Father gave me his dagger to play with. Father gave him his dagger to play with, never gave it to me. Ugh, I don't want to remember. Forget all this, I'm an orphan. Regongar waves his hand dryly. I grew up a slave, that I remember well. So many things burned into my memory. Most of all, I remember her, my Octavia. Today, we are almost the same age. But back then, she was twice as young as me. Just a child, but a brave one. Cunning, bold, and beautiful. The most beautiful girl in the world. Ah, well, you know she's been, we won't bring it up. Fine. What deity do you worship? Ha! I never got much help from the gods so far. But if you made me choose, I'd say Calestria. Who else could I worship? The savored sting? The goddess of pleasure, fun, and revenge? Oh, yes. Alright, yes. I think we've heard about her before. Where do you get your magical powers? What magical powers? The hell's are you talking about? Oh, you mean these? Regongar makes lightning run over his hands with a contented smile, then snaps his fingers, invoking a shower of blinding sparks. I've had them since I was born. At least one thing I can thank my scum parents for. Maybe these powers are why they sold me into slavery. Think they were scared. Who knows, damn Numerians. At the Technic League, they drew my blood, did experiments, burned me with fire, tortured me with cold electricity. They told me, you won't believe it, they told me I have blue dragon blood in my veins. Not bad, huh? I'm a dragon, you freaks. Come check my blood if you dare. Grinning, Regongar strikes his palm with a fist. Another fountain of electric sparks shoots upwards. I'm sure we could do that if we wanted to. I mean, we can do Shocking Grasp. What do your tattoos mean? They are magical. They help me control my powers. The Technic League gave them to me. I'd hoped that somewhere on my body there was at least one sign left by my tribe, but no. I guess they didn't care to bother. To hell with them. They better hope I never find them. If I ever meet my father, I will even the score between us. How do you manage to use both a sword and magic and not cut off your fingers? Ha ha ha. It's simple. I'm just that bloody good. The half-orc gives a contented grin. Do you enjoy making people suffer? Why should I care about their suffering? I do what I want. If I step on someone's toes, then they shouldn't have put themselves in my way. But chasing someone down just to torture them, it's only entertainment for maniacs like the Technic League. Well, on second thought, ha 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 ha. For them I would make an exception. I'd love to watch it as I fry them nice and slow. But why do you ask? Do my methods shock you? Regongar clenches his fist, buzzing with sparks and laughing loudly at his joke. I don't know. How do we want to say it? I guess we could say, so long as you're in my party, try to control yourself. I don't like meaningless atrocities. If you say so, you're the boss. We'll make sure all our atrocities are meaningful. Ha ha ha. You wouldn't want to upset the boss. Oh well, thank you for your answers. Thanks don't fill a purse. Ha ha. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's such a joker. Tell me about your life in Numeria. You mean my life as a slave? I didn't see much except for the slave barracks and the League's twisted laboratories. How did you happen to become a slave? I already kind of know this, but okay. I was sold by my own tribe when I was just a little brat. The half-orc clenches his teeth, then spits on the ground and steps on it with his boot. So I grew up in slave barracks. I was raised to be sold like a battle animal. They tried to break me, but they picked the wrong brats. No matter how much you beat this animal, he only gets angrier. The half-orc punches himself in the chest and snarls. Why did your masters teach you magic? Can't you guess? Because magic is in my blood, that's why they bought me. Wasn't raised as some lowly mop slave, but as a murder machine. I'd fetch quite a nice sum of gold. You might also ask if they knew I'd take the first opportunity to rip their own guts out using everything they taught me. Ha! Of course they did. But it's the Technic League. They calculate risk. Octavia kept pretending to be simple-minded, so they wouldn't expect anything of me. But I made every effort. Though they didn't teach me much. What is there to teach? It's not book magic, it's innate. They made me practice my sword more. But I did my best in everything. I studied all I could. They knew they were raising an enemy, but they thought they could keep me on a short leash, or sell me to someone with deep pockets so I'd become someone else's problem. But who won in the end, huh? Who is free? Who will bury them all? The half-orc makes an obscene gesture in a northwestern direction towards Numeria. Okay, what else did you see beyond your life in chains? What else could I have seen? Well, when we ran, we went through Starfall. That's a fine city. Big, loud, many merchants, things to see, things to steal. But I didn't have much chance to walk around. It's the very nest of the sodden Technic League. We're focused more on getting out alive. Starfall? A city just as brutal and harsh as the unforgiving Numerian land that is... Just as brutal and as harsh as the unforgiving Numerian land that it is capital of. The place is a mockery of the soft capitals of the south, with a level of decadence that would have put even Taldor to shame. This decadence is surrounded by the filthy reek of human misery. Here the Black Sovereign, Kevoth Kull, rules at the whim of the Technic League, while the rest of the city suffers under his harsh rule. We met some barbarians. I asked them who might know what tribe I'm from, but they didn't know anything. I don't have any tribal tattoos, nothing. Actually, they are right. Well, some of them. The Bloodgars, for one, they're great. Oh, they are all right. Well, some of them. The Bloodgars, for one, they're great. All the rivers are theirs. We sailed with them during one of our escapes. Almost all the way to Brevoy, and they didn't turn us in. But the White Scars got us after that. Those guys are shit. They've sold their pride to the Technic League. Oh, and one more thing. One time Octavia and I tried to escape and stumbled across a Numerian monster. I'll never forget it. A huge spider, size of a house, made of metal. Spitting fire, shooting deadly rays all around it. That thing could probably tear even a dragon to pieces. Ruined our escape plans too, we had to go back. So you and Octavia tried to escape? What do you think? Of course we tried. I stopped counting how many times. Jumped from windows, dug tunnels, choked out guards or seduced them. That happened too. Haha, But those dirtbags who caught us every time, every bloody time. My back is covered with whip scars. Lucky we were prized property. They spent too much gold on us to kill us. Anyone else would be hung and forgotten. But they kept trying to break us and recoup their expenses. I don't know whether I could have survived by sheer stubbornness if it weren't for Octavia. I probably couldn't have. Would have just given up and died. But I had to pull my girl out of that meat grinder, and she believed in me, and had enough hope for both of us. When I lay there with my back slashed to pieces, she whispered to me about the River Kingdoms, where there's no slavery, where everyone can go where they want, take whatever they want. I'll be damned, I thought she was just making it up, to keep our hopes alive. And it turns out to be true, all of it, every last word. No chains, no slaves, no laws. Just live and be happy. Is slavery legal in Numeria? What a stupid question. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There are some laws against it, but even in Starthal, a third of people live in bondage. And that's the capital. In some regions where the Black Sovereign's hand doesn't reach, they hold to tribal customs instead of laws. The barbarians don't keep slaves, instead they have thralls. Big bloody difference. And on top of that mess, there's the Technic League. Law and custom mean nothing to those slime balls. They just take whatever and whoever they want. Okay, thanks for your answers. What kind of relationship do you have with Octavia? No reason at all to ask this. Well, my Octavia and I don't have a relationship. We have a life together. How did you meet? back when we were children, we were taken as apprentices by the great spellmaster Janusz. Maestro Janusz, he called himself. He was our teacher. Well, he made Octavia read books and memorize spells. I had my own innate magic. He trained me a bit, taught me how to control my gifts so I wouldn't lose control and incinerate myself like a dumbass. Oh, teacher, we will meet again. There's one more test I must pass. But you were asking about my Octavia. We've been together all our lives. We've learned everything together, how to weave magic, how to survive. As we grew older, we learned how to love. Without each other, we would never have gotten out of there, that's for sure. We would have given up and surrendered to death. But together, that's a very different story. Not the first time and not the 10th, but eventually we made it out. Why do you call her yours? She doesn't seem to like that very much. My girl loves freedom so much, and even a slight chance of losing it frightens her. She is so smart. You really think she feels I'm trying to make her mine, like an apple stolen at a market? Me, who was skinned alive for trying to help her escape? She is afraid of the word my because she doesn't understand the difference between my boots and my heart. But she will understand, sooner or later. Are you and Octavia faithful to each other? Octavia and I are connected, and this connection cannot be broken. We grew into each other, you know. Jealousy is for weak cowards who don't trust each other and are scared of being tricked. If a knight on the side threatened your love, this means there was no real love to begin with. She and I are together, to the end, and we will never part from each other. So when she likes some lad or some lass, it's no drama to me. I just ask her whether she wants me to leave them alone or join in, and she does the same. Ha ha. What, are you judging us? Or maybe you want to join our tent? The half-orc grins. Is that an invitation? As I said, I have to follow every flirt opportunity. Well, then maybe I will. Is that so? Ha ha, Regongar measures you with an openly lustful look. I will think about it. Well, thank you for your answers. They're very illuminating. What did you say when you were killing Kalana? What? Oh, that. Calestria's holy words. I stab thee with my heart. We say that when we get our vengeance. These words make it so much sweeter. Well, I have to go. I'll see you later. So long. If you want to know anything else, just ask. Don't be shy. Just don't go pale when I answer. Heh. Okay. He's a bit weirder than I first thought. Octavia? Oh, hello. Octavia smiles at you flirtatiously. Got any good news? So, I just have to ask, how did you manage to look so gorgeous even when we're out in the middle of nowhere? Oh, so you've noticed. Octavia smiles slyly. My appearance is the result of daily effort, and it's not easy. Do you know how much time it takes to create good makeup or to mend a dress, even with the help of magic? Nope, what did I do there? So, if someday you wake up early, an hour before dawn or so, you can actually check on me. You'll see how I prepare myself for a new day. Well, you know I have to. Oh, Octavia, the flower of the Stolen Lands, you're as beautiful as you are dangerous. You strike down monsters with your spells as you strike down people with your beauty. Oh, you're a real sweet talker. I feel all flushed. Octavia fans herself with a hand. Well now, I'll have to pay even more attention to my looks, for now I know for sure there's someone who appreciates my effort. Okay. Let's go through the normal questions. How was your childhood? Octavia sighed. Oh, I think I asked, could you tell me a little bit about your childhood? And she said, too little. I guess that's... Do you remember anything about your childhood? Anyway, some scraps of memories, no more than that. What exactly do you remember? Octavia reflects on that, tapping her finger against her cheek. Nothing special, some images of a faraway past, that's all. I do remember wooden table legs. The paint on them was peeling off. I was standing on my toes, trying to peek at what was on the table. I remember a wild rose by the window. It kept me up at night, scratching the glass with its gnarled branchlets. I do remember my mother's blue dress. It was a trifle battered, but it smelled of lavender. Octavia wrinkles her forehead. Yes, that's all. There's not much there, right? All these memories, it's like they're not mine at all. I recall some images, and I know I should feel something about them, but I don't remember exactly what I should feel. So let them rot in a swamp with the tassel worms. Octavia grins cheerfully. My life's good enough without them. What do you know about your parents? You're half-elf, right? Am I? Octavia examines herself, as if seeing herself for the first time. You know, I think you might be right. I'm rather tall and slim, and I can see well in dim light. She raises her hands and touches her ears. Ah, they're a bit pointy. Yes, I'm definitely a half-elf. Let's think about that logically. So my mother was an elf, and my father was a human. Or maybe it was the other way around. My mother was a... Finally, Octavia can't take it anymore and bursts into laughter, having spoiled her own act. So that's it. You know much about my parents as I do, she says after her laughter subsides. Do you remember how you were enslaved? I remember clearly the man who took me away from my home. He was big, with a huge pot belly and a shaggy beard. I was afraid he would eat me. Octavia shrugs. Anyway, he didn't stay with me long. He gave me to his slaver accomplices, and I never saw him again. When my mother was giving me to him, she was crying. I can still barely hear her quiet voice, but I can't recall the words or the face behind the tears, just that lavender smell. It tickled my nose, and I wanted to sneeze. Did my mother sell me into slavery? But then why was she crying? If she didn't want me to be a slave, then why didn't she try to save me? Octavia twirls her hair, pondering over the thought, and then sighs. One more riddle from my past I don't care to solve. That must be horrible, being unable to recall your childhood. Oh, I recall my childhood in rather bright details. It was spent in dirty barracks. I wore flea-infested rags and slept on a straw mattress instead of a proper bed. Octavia smiles humorously. Though I understand what you mean. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to remember my childhood before slavery. If I could remember what I lost, it would probably bring me more pain. Octavia shakes her head several times and makes herself smile again. So it's good that I don't remember much of anything. Alright, well, now we've had that awkward talk that we have with all of our companions, let's ask you about something else. How about you tell me about your life in slavery? Something, a more fun topic, I guess. Oh, I don't like to recall it, but if you insist, Octavia frowns. The slavers from the Technic League tried to ruin my life, but all they could do is ruin my childhood. How did you happen to find yourself in the Stolen Lands? My enslavers from the Technic League founded a large expedition into the Stolen Lands. 100 agents, tens of slaves, wagons. They were to search for some ancient artifacts or ancient ruins, Octavia shrugs. Our group never made it to the Technic League hideout. All along the way, it was attacked by the future owner of the Stolen Lands herself, and I'll be forever grateful to her for it. Octavia winks cheerfully. Took me a moment to realize that was us, but also, if I go up here, they were looking for artifacts. Most importantly, I suspect these are the same artifacts that Tartusio was looking for. So that is very interesting. There's multiple people looking for these artifacts. Is this why Brevoy originally gave us the lands? Trying to figure this out. Anyway. Or why Brevoy are trying to get us to get the lands. So they can get access to the artifacts. I don't know. Did you have many masters over the years? Yes, many of them. Some owned me for years. Others felt that they had enough of me in a couple of months. Trust me, I did all I could to make every master eager to get rid of me. A slave that's trained in magic is a rather expensive thing, so they wouldn't kill me. At least that was the hope. So I drooled, I played the idiot. And I listened as every new master argued with the former one, trying to return me. Sometimes I punctured the pages of magic books I was forced to copy with a quill. Other times I pretended to mix up spells, so instead of lighting a magic torch, I set dozens of dancing lights floating just below the ceiling. Of course, most of these tricks of mine usually ended badly. I got punished on a regular basis. My back still remembers the master's whips, though all my scars from those times are long gone. So where did you learn to use magic? I was taught magic by Janusz of Starfall, one of the most famous wizards of Numeria. Maestro Janusz, as he insisted on calling himself. Octavia's voice overflows with contemptuous sarcasm. Anyone would be happy to learn from such a great master. And only a talentless bitch like me would dare reject his talents, his teachings, and indulge in her laziness. At least that's what Maestro Janusz used to repeat constantly, while whipping knowledge into my back. The great Maestro was a big fan of punishment. Octavia's lips pressed into a thin smile. The Technic League didn't care if a few slaves died under the Master's whip, as long as Maestro Janus provided an arcane trained one in return. Officially, there's no slavery in Numeria, but the Technic League is above any law. A slave with an aptitude for the arcane is worth more than a regular one. A slave's repertoire is limited to the simplest and safest spells, of course. Have you ever tried to run away? What a silly question. Of course I tried. As soon as we even saw the tiniest opportunity to get free, Reg and I grabbed for it. On one occasion, we jumped from the cart into the river. There was a time when we spent weeks trying to dismantle the far wall of the barracks and make a path out of it. Sometimes we attacked our guards when they least expected it. We craved freedom. We lived only to dream about it. Those short days, sometimes weeks that we spent on the run were the happiest days of my life. We used to hide in the woods or blend in with the crowd on the streets of Starfall. Midnight stars were our guiding lights, and we shared the dream with them. We reached the river kingdoms, for in those lands there were neither slaves nor masters. We were starving and freezing, but that was real life. Too bad it usually ended too soon. The Technic League agents always found us in the end. I don't know how they managed to do it. They probably used magic, or maybe it was just our fate. They whipped us and returned us to our old masters, or sold us to new ones if the old ones refused to pay. So we were slaves again, but the dreams about the River Kingdoms never left our hearts. And a stupid question again. Have your masters ever hurt you? Oh, have your masters ever... Okay, kind of weird. Anyway, it doesn't quite line up, but you figured that out, didn't you? Octavia narrows her eyes. I maybe want to hear all about the beatings I survived, the humiliations I've endured. Imagine the worst thing one person can do to another and multiply it tenfold. That's what happened to me nearly every day in slavery. Masters, oh how I hate that word. Octavia shakes her head furiously, making her locks dance. They punished me because they wanted to hurt me. But what hurt even more was the mere fact of their existence. Okay, let's talk about someone else. Octavia stops you, gently touching your hand. Wait, I want to tell you. She sighs and shakes her head as if trying to collect her thoughts. The Technic League agents you rescued us from. Rick and I tried to run away many times, but they almost managed to find us eventually. I have no reason to hope that this is the time that they've lost track of us for good. Well, I won't let anyone harm those who are dear to me. Whatever happens, you can count on me. Octavia raises her eyes to you and gives you such a warm smile that you're unable not to smile back. In the depths of her eyes, you notice something that wasn't there before. This unnamed feeling hides in the moment, but you're sure you know what it was. Trust. Thank you, Octavia whispers, touching your shoulder. Suddenly she frowns in contemplation, twirling her locks. Still, I'd like to find them first. What kind of relationship do you have with Reg? Octavia shrugs awkwardly. We're together, she answers simply. When you said we're together sounded unconvincing. Is something wrong? You've noticed. Well, I didn't mean that. Now I'll have to explain. Octavia shakes her head. I'm not sure how to put it correctly. You see, Reg seems to treat me like his property. He's always kind to me, and it feels good when we travel together, or when we share a blanket at the campsite, but he always calls me my Octavia. I've told him over and over that I don't belong to anyone, that I'm my own, and I stay with him by my own free will. He only grins when I say that. I bet he likes to think I'm his. Never mind though, I'll sort it out somehow. Octavia shakes her head, making the troubling thoughts go away. That's the way it works. If you've got a troubling thought in your head, just keep shaking it until you're dizzy. When did you meet Reg? Years ago when I was studying magic at Maestro Janus's. Reg was his student too, though you couldn't actually say he was really studying anything. Reg had his own ways to cast spells. He never needed the Maestro's instructions. You see, unlike wizards, Reg draws power directly from his innate bloodline abilities. Janus didn't actually realize the nature of Reg's powers when he took the young boy as his new student. And when he finally understood them, he just taught the Netherland half-orc to control his powers to avoid harming himself or the others. Reg and I have been together ever since. We could both use magic, but more importantly, we both craved freedom. We used to vow to each other that someday we'd break free from the unbearable captivity or die trying together. Octavia gives you a warm smile. I guess it's good we fulfilled only the first part of that vow. You owe him much. Octavia winces. I don't like this "owe" word. I don't owe anything to anybody.
Everything I do of my own free will, but to answer your question, yes, Reg has done a lot for me. I can't count the number of times he was whipped by masters because of me, how many times he took the blame for my doings. He never complained when they dragged him, beaten, covered in blood, to the slave barracks. He just groaned and clenched his fists while I bandaged his wounds with the scraps of my filthy clothing. We've always been together, my whole life, as slaves, as free people. I wouldn't be me if not for him.
The fact that Reg is so impulsive doesn't bother you?
That is a very delicate matter. Octavia winces, looking away. Reg means a lot to me, and he endured a lot for me, but some parts of him just scare me. He becomes extremely bloodthirsty when it comes to slavers. Don't get me wrong, I hate slavers with all my heart. I'll do a lot to cleanse the world of their filth, but Reg, he'd do anything. Understand? Absolutely anything. I'm afraid that anger might kill everything good in him. I've attempted to talk to him about it many times, but he just won't listen. He becomes even angrier after our conversations. Octavia sighs sadly.
Okay, let's change the subject. You worship Calestra, right?
Yes, many slaves survived only thanks to their faith. Some lived hoping for a day when a good deity would deliver them. Some offered deals to the evil gods, but me and Reg, Calestria has taught us the most important things. Expect no gifts from the above, rely only on ourselves, never forgive those who wronged us, but at the same time savor every droplet of pleasure we could squeeze from our bleak days.
It's amazing, after all your hardship, you still remain so cheerful and optimistic. Octavia's smile fades a little.
I try not to view my life as a never-ending course of sufferings. Yes, I've had my share of hard times, but do I need to recall them? After all, along with the bad things, I've had good things as well. I had a dream, and I followed it, and eventually it came true. Following the path, I met Reg and you, and now I'm free, surrounded by friends.
Octavia's voice trembles with hidden emotions, but her smile remains warm and sincere. Why do you need to find the Technic agents?
I broke free from slavery thanks to you. I've attained everything I dreamed of, my freedom and the opportunity to control my own life. I want to use this opportunity to fight the Technic League, at least part of it that operates here in the Stolen Lands. I wish to free all the slaves from their Technic League masters.
Octavia gives you a warm smile and gently touches your hand.
I do believe that while we're together, we can achieve a lot, even this.
Well, alright, we'll talk later.
Sure. Octavia gives you a friendly smile. Come any time.
Well, she sure had a lot to say, but I just had a thought. She's a wizard, right? So can she learn spell? She cannot write spells to her spell book. Oh, she can. Okay. There we go. We got a new spell. Interesting. So how do we know what spell she... I guess we just right click on them until we know. You know what? Oh, maybe she already has them in her spell book. Let's go type. Let's sort them by type, and then any spell that we see here, we'll just see. Maybe it's only ones that she can use. I don't know. We'll keep copying them. I mean, there's no reason not to copy spells to the spell book, right? And apart from the fact that we lose the scroll. Yeah, copy that one. What was that one? Protection from chaos. That's protection from evil. Protection from evil. Scroll of Rave Enfeeblement. We'll take that. Scroll of Scorching Ray. Oh, that's one that we've only recently learned. I guess he doesn't get to use all of them. That's the thing. He probably only gets to use ones of which he has spell slots for. But if we have a look at her spell book now. Oh, she has to memorize spells per day. Okay. And she has level 2 spells, but she doesn't have access to them yet, like Scorching Ray. I see. That's fine. So she has Snowball, Color Spray. That's fine. What else do we want to give her? And she also gets Enlarged Person. Ah, okay. So she's definitely made to match up with Reg here. Give her Magic Missile. That's pretty good. Although it's only 1d4 plus 1. Your Piercing Scream is 1d6. Okay. That probably seems like a better one. Although Snowball is just a better spell. It's also 1d6. They're both 1d6, but they're different types. I guess maybe Mage Armor might be better. Plus 4 armor bonus to AC. Possibly. I think Summon Monster sounds good. Let's memorize that one. Okay, that's fine. So we're not quite done, but we're almost done here. There's one more thing that I remember that we have to do. Let me head out. And we're heading out to Oleg. There is a weapon I want to buy. So it's one of these. I wish to buy 1 4 gold dagger. And that's because that is her weapon that we've given her to be good at. Yeah, for her set here. Yeah. And that'll then allow her to have something to switch to if someone comes and attacks her. He's fine with a scimitar. Yeah, we're good. I think we're good anyway. Yeah, in fact, I could probably take the club off of one of the... I'd probably take the club off of both of these if that would lower their weight level. It doesn't really. Miri's still in light, so yeah, the club doesn't really matter, but I should remember it if we come across skeletons. I don't think I ever used it against the skeletons. Right. We'll head out. All the way out. All the way out. I'm assuming we're only allowed this many party members, like 6 at a time. But yeah, let's head out with some of these. So, yes, I'm deliberately leaving those. So in terms of our party, who are we taking? Well, I think we have to take the new people. Valerie seems like a cannot leave party, and Miri seems like a cannot leave party, so does Lindsay. So I think it's Harem and Jathal are staying. So Harem also seems like a cannot leave party. These two I want to take out together. This seems okay. Yeah, I think we can leave those two. I'm trying to think of where we're going. We're going to the we're going to a temple. Neither of the in fact, nobody we have is really that amazing, apart from maybe we could leave Valerie, but she's got that kind of paladin life going on. Guess we could leave a Miri. Kind of I like having a Miri around though. Let's maybe go with this. I want to take people who are good at religion checks. This is why I'm taking Harem. Because I think we're going to have religion checks. I mean, I know that I don't think Valerie actually has religion, but I think she has the background, which kind of makes up for it. Let's take this group. Let's see how it goes. Right. So, once we get out of here, I will just rest, and then we should be done for the day. And then we know where we're going next time. We're going to the Stag Lord. Or we're going to the Temple of the Elm, which I assume is where the Stag Lord is. I want to move ourselves around here, so we want to be like... We should probably just make a new formation, but something like this. I think it's that. I think that's the correct formation. I'm not 100% sure. Let's rest. I'm not sure what our resting stuff is like right now. Do we have a better... She should be better at stealth than us, right? She is. So that means that we can now move on to doing something else. Like... We're probably best on watch. Oh, what are their specials? It's intimidating posture. Most enemies who are weaker than Regongar will avoid facing him and won't attack your camp. Interesting. What's hers? Set alarm. Lasts for 1 guard shift and warns of enemies in the area. Okay. I think I prefer if she used stealth. I think Valerie's maintain armor is very useful for her. What's hers? Inspire competence, +2 competency on the camp duties. Now Valerie's last beyond camp, which is why I like hers. What's his? Blend into the night. Again, it's another camp one. So go with that. He is god awful at everything he does. That's the negative there. Yeah, so we put ourselves on watch along with... Well, Valerie's already doing so. I guess he's taking the other watch. No, Harim should take that watch. Who's going hunting? Oh, should we go hunting? No, Harim has a +4 to hunt, so... Maybe you go hunting. You stay here with your -1. Failing the roll means it's a surprise attack. Almost seems like we have to do that. I mean, that's fine. It just means we're not going to get attacked. It also means that Valerie doesn't get her plus bonus, but whatever. Do we know who likes sweet pancakes? I have no idea yet, but we know it's not one of the 2 who are left behind, so let's have a look at what we got here. One of the 3 that are left behind. No, 2. But we know it's not one of them. Because they like jeweled rice and seasoned wings. Okay. Let's try it. Okay. Hunting's fine. Camouflage. Things done. Okay. Anyway, oh, Lindsay likes the pancakes. So +5 to movement speed. All of these are +5 to movement speed. That's lovely. Right. Well, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.